Hello everybody, this is Simon Ward of the triathloncoach.com. Now we're coming to race season, and I know that one of the things I get asked a lot about is how to set up your bike for race day, and so that's what I'm going to describe right now. But let's cover a few things. Firstly, if you get your bike serviced, there's no need for you to have a full toolkit on race day. Everything should be in working order. Things that are going to break, cables and chain, can easily be replaced before the event if you discover them to be damaged. Otherwise, as long as they're well maintained, there's pretty much no chance, well, not no chance, there's never a 100% guarantee, but it's a limited chance that anything's going to break on race day. Okay, so don't worry about the kit to repair those. You just need the essentials. And the other thing is that you've probably invested in a light bike in the same way that I have. So what you don't need to do is put 4 litres of water on it and load it up like grandma's shopping cart. Okay, keep it nice and clean and as light as possible. So let's start with puncture repair, because that's one thing that people worry about, is what happens if I have a puncture. So what I have here in my hands is the contents of this bag here. So I'll have a replacement inner tube with super long valve to fit my aero wheels. I will have my tyre levers, which help me get the tyre off and the inner tube out and to replace it, and I have one gas bottle with an adapter, and that's all. I may carry actually a spare gas bottle just in case the first one's faulty, but I won't be carrying 2 in the tubes. If I can't replace the first puncture, I get a second one. I'll wait for help or it's race over. Okay, so I'm going to be pragmatic about it. That's about as much as you need. Very rarely get punctures, so the chance of it happening twice in a 6-hour ride is minimal. So that's the contents of this, and it goes behind the saddle. I have no pump. Okay, let's look at water bottles and hydration. I often see people with a bottle here, maybe a bottle there or one here, and possibly something like this on the back of the bike with 2 water bottles here. Okay, that's 4 water bottles. That's 4 litres of water. How long are you going out there for? Really? Most races have an aid station every 20 to 30k. Most triathletes can ride at 20k. You're going to have to ride that fast to finish the distance inside the cutoff time. And at 20k an hour, that means you're going to be able to get a bottle every hour. All right? So you don't need to have 4. You probably don't even need to have 2. But let's go for 2. So I'm going to start off with these 2 bottles here. These are what I've discovered to be the best places for me. And inside these water bottles, I'll be having this. In each of these sachets of OTE powder, there's 40 grams of carbohydrates. So I'll have 2 for this bottle and 2 for that bottle. That's 160 grams of carbs. That'll fuel me for the first 2 hours or 2.5 hours of the bike. At that point, I will start to consume either some gels. So I have 4 of these gels in here. Okay, they're 20 grams of carbs each, so that's going to be enough for another 1.5 hours. I'll probably have 2 more gels in my back pocket, and I may actually have an energy bar or 2 for something solid. That will keep me going throughout the bike. If you need to, you can leave some of this stuff for special needs, but as you can see, I can be pretty much self-sufficient very simply on this bike. And that's all. Now, one thing I might do is to replace this with a bottle like this. So I'll decant the contents of here into that, and that will sit on the top there in a little strap system, and I can take it off and squirt it in my mouth. Now that does save gel wrappers being thrown around the course, which is something organisers are keen to cut down. So you might want to consider a system like that. Also means you don't have to fiddle around with undoing the gel and then have to dump the wrappers, so that might be a good alternative. The only other thing I have on my bike is my Garmin. That goes on here, and that's it. Nice clean lines. So that's how I set my bike up for race day. I will be mounting my shoes on my pedals. That's something for another day, another discussion, but they're mounted on there, ready to go, and this is pretty much how my bike will look like in transition before I come out of the swim. Okay, that's it. I hope it's useful for you. If you've got any comments or questions, I'm sure the whole thing about hydration is bound to be controversial, so please post them on our Facebook page and I'll do my best to answer them. But for now, have a good weekend, enjoy your riding and enjoy your racing. Bye bye.